Here we go, back with the playoff live stream. We have game two between the Edmonton Oilers and Anaheim Ducks on tap tonight. And yeah, we got game two between Edmonton and Anaheim. The Oilers looking to take that 2-0 series lead, which, as I'm saying that, I am now just remembering that in the last two playoff series that these two teams have played, Edmonton has jumped out to a 2-0 series lead. They jumped out to 2-0 series lead in the Western Conference Final in 2006, and then they jumped out to a 2-0 series lead in the second round in 2017. Anaheim looking to push this to back to Anaheim, tied at 1. And I'm going to be honest, I'm a little bit scared. Just a little bit. I think Anaheim tonight is going to come out. I think they're going to play with pace. I think they're going to play with purpose. I think they're going to score first. I think they're going to score early. I genuinely think Edmonton is going to find themselves in a little bit of a hole tonight that they're going to have to work their way out of. And it definitely feels like this is the kind of game that Anaheim is going to set the pace for, set the tone for. And Edmonton's going to have to be ready. One of the things that I picked up on when I was watching the game on Monday was how fast-paced it was. You know, you're not facing the LA Kings. You're going to try and slow it down. You're playing the Anaheim Ducks. They were fast. They were speedy. And the offense was there. And what was the thing that we were saying coming into this series? Offense, offense, offense. These two teams combined for 28 goals in their 3 regular season meeting games. They combined for 7 in game 1. This is going to be an offensive series. And, you know, I didn't say this on Monday, and I'm going to say this now as sort of like a series prediction. Usually I say this when Edmonton faces a team like the Calgary Flames or the Vancouver Canucks. And that is, if it's a shootout, Anaheim has a chance. But if Edmonton is going to be able to lock it down defensively and get good goaltending, it might go in the way of the Oilers. And it was a shootout. It was a shootout last game. That's kind of where we're going to be at. And so we're just waiting on puck drop here. We got the pregame going on, so it's going to be another 17 minutes till puck drop. So while we are waiting, let's take a quick look around the NHL and Pittsburgh. What is going on here? What is going on, Pittsburgh? They lose 5-2 in Game 3 to the Philadelphia Flyers, and the Philadelphia Flyers have now pushed the Pittsburgh Penguins to the brink of elimination. The Penguins. And I guess it kind of makes sense if you think about it. The Penguins built around an aging old core. So it would make sense that Philly is kicking their butts, but good God Almighty, I did not think that Pittsburgh did not, or I did not think the Pittsburgh Penguins would be this bad. But yeah, Pittsburgh is down 3-0. Damn. Dallas is up 1-0 on Minnesota in Game 3. And, of course, we have Edmonton and Anaheim in Game 3. Now, there have been a couple of lineup changes to both Edmonton and Anaheim squads. We'll start with Anaheim. Anaheim is not playing Radko Gudas tonight. In the third period of Monday's game, which I did not watch because I decided to go to bed, Matthias Ekholm was leading a rush down the left-hand side of the ice, and Radko Gudas tripped and fell on his ass, and it allowed Edmonton to tie the game. And he apparently re-aggravated his injury that he sustained against the Leafs, I think. So that happened. So Radko Gudas is not playing tonight. In his stead is Hellison. Is Hellison. However, Edmonton suffered two injuries of their own. Adam Henrique left game one early after colliding with Kasperi Kapanen. He is not playing tonight. And Jason Dickinson is also not playing tonight after scoring 2 goals in game one. So your lineup tonight is looking like this for Edmonton. Connor McDavid between Matthew Savoy and Zach Hyman. Really looking for a bounce back game from that line. McDavid was held pointless in game one, and for the first time all season, the Edmonton Oilers won a game when that happened. Matthew Savoy, his first taste of playoff action. I think he was a little bit nervous. And then Zach Hyman, he was probably the best player on that line, laid a few hits, got some opportunities, but I'm really looking for a bounce back game from that top line. Second line, Draisaitl between Puckholz and Kapanen. That line did its thing. It went to work in the offensive zone, got a couple of goals. I can't complain about how that second line played, especially Leon. Leon did not look like he was out of place at all, and Edmonton resting him for as long as they did, looking like the smart decision. Third line, this is where the changes happened. So third line last game was Jason Dickinson between Nugent Hopkins and Jack Roslovic. Unfortunately, as I said, Dickinson is not playing. So right now they're going with Nugent Hopkins between Colton Dach and Jack Roslovic. And then fourth line was Adam Henrique between Colton Dach and Trent Frederick. That is not happening. We have Josh Szymanski between Trent Frederick and Curtis Lazar. So Lazar draws into the lineup. Lazar and Szymanski are drawing into the lineup for Henrique and Dickinson. Obviously, I would have liked to have seen Colton Dach, Trent Frederick, and Josh Szymanski together just because, that line has proven to work, but I understand why Knobloch is not playing Curtis Lazar on the third line. No changes on the defense. Ekholm, Bouchard, Nurse Murphy, Wallman, Emberson, Connor Ingram is starting in goal. We do have the anthems right now, so I did say puck drop was in 17 minutes. That's not happening right now, so yeah. It's we're just got the anthems right now. Take a quick look at Anaheim's lineup. So Anaheim's lineup: Leo Carlsson between Chris Kreider and Troy Terry. That first line, Edmonton needs to really watch out for. Troy Terry and Carlsson in particular were very effective for Anaheim, but they were the only guys who scored for Anaheim in Game 1, so pretty good there. Mikhail Granlund between Alex Killorn and Benik Seneca. Ryan Poehling between Mason Matavish and Frederick or Carter Gauthier, I'm not sure. And then you have Veal, Washi, and Moore on your fourth line. Defensively, they're going Lacombe, Trouba, Mintyukov, Carlson, Hines, and Hellison. And then, of course, Lucas Dostal in net. And my God, Lucas Dostal is one handsome son of a gun. I will tell you that right now. He is one handsome devil, is Lukas. It's funny. He was actually. They were actually asking him questions about whether he was bothered by the fact that the Oilers fans weren't saying his name right when they were chanting Lucas. He said he didn't care because he didn't really hear it. Now, one thing I will say about Anaheim, that Edmonton, the one thing that Edmonton I think does need to take advantage of is that right-hand defensive side on Anaheim. It is very weak. And, yeah. So anyway, we got Robert Clark with the jersey. Or not the jersey. We got Robert Clark in the stands, and they're singing it loud. All right, cool. So yeah, I'm definitely looking for. I will say this, and again, this is me spitballing here. I definitely think Anaheim's going to come up pretty fast in this first period because they don't really have a choice. They have to play well. Now, that's not to say they didn't play well in Game 1. Edmonton completely dominated them in Game 1, in the first period of Game 1. Remember, shots were 13-3. The score was 2-0 after the first period. Second period, though, Anaheim was the better team without a question, without a doubt in my mind. Third period, I can't comment on because I wasn't watching it. From what I understand, at one point the shots were like, at one point Anaheim only had 6 shots on it, and Edmonton outscored Anaheim 2-0 in the third. So I mean, that makes sense. So, but yeah, here we go. Anthems are done. The lights are about to come on. The pre-game pump-up music for Edmonton is starting, and we are going to take a look at the goaltenders. Lukas Dostal, 4.12 goals against, 882 save percentage, 0-1 in the playoffs. Connor Ingram, who I don't think had a bad game in game one. I thought he was pretty good. A couple of rebound issues, no problem, but a 1-3 record in the playoffs, 351 goals against, and a 910 save percentage in 5 games in the playoffs. Obviously, in the series, I can't comment on the series. Connor McDavid, the camera is on Connor. The Oilers are starting the top line against probably the Karlsson line. And again, like I said, yeah, McDavid looking for a rebound. But usually we're not worried in Edmonton when Connor goes pointless for a game because we know that he's going to turn it up at any point, and he usually responds well when he goes pointless. So you'd have to be pretty, Connor would have to be going through something major to not get a point. And right off the hop, we get ourselves an icing on Edmonton. So. All right, so face off to the right of Connor Ingram. Karlsson is going to win that faceoff. Back to Lacombe. Jackson Lacombe. He's going to walk that line. He's going to go for a skate. He's going to try and send it in front. And it's going to be off of Connor Ingram's head. And here comes Edmonton with a 3-on-run rush. McDavid he gets it whacked off his stick. McDavid recovers, though. He gets tripped up behind the net. No penalty, of course. That's okay. It wasn't an egregious trip. That's just me being a Homer Oilers fan. It wasn't even that egregious trip. All right, Bouchard winds, fires, shot, saved by Dostal. And here come the Ducks. Karlsson's going to pick up that puck. Leo Karlsson. He's going to skate into the Oilers zone, go 1-on-3, get a weak shot off that's going to be kicked or bumped into the corner by Connor Ingram. Ducks can't or do manage to hold the zone. All right, Ekholm over to Bouchard. Bouchard up to Kapanen. Drops it back for Draisaitl. Draisaitl's going to send it back to Bouchard. Oilers are going to go in the reset here. Leon Draisaitl. He's going to skate it up. He's going to just flip that puck into Anaheim zone. And John Karlsson's going to get it there first. And here come the Ducks. Number 45 is going to send that into the Oilers zone. Ingram is going to stop behind the net. He's going to flick that puck out. And it's going to be held by the Ducks. Good job on that defenseman by holding it. Anaheim's going to take that shot. It's going to go wide and go out of the zone. And here come the Ducks off the skate. Nurse. Cross ice. Good defensive play by him to knock that puck down with the stick. Colton Dach is on the ice on the forecheck. And again, Anaheim's going to dump that puck. And Connor Murphy is going to challenge that Ducks player. I think that's Ryan Poehling, it looks like. And Poehling's going to send it behind the net, but it's going to intercept it by Jake Woolman. Woolman with a great first game. Fantastic. Another icing call. As just as I was about to sing his praises, he ices it. And, yeah. So, I was singing his praises. Woolman had a great game one. Nice shot. Hyman with the screen. Dostal didn't see it, but he made the pad save. It was way along the edge. If that was elevated just a little bit, it's 1-0 Edmonton. 7 shot attempts for Bouchard with 36 minutes of ice time in game one for Bouchard. So Bouchard was pretty good. A couple unlucky, a couple of unlucky bounces his way, especially on I think it was the game tying goal the game tying goal in the second period. But Bouchard is usually you get more good than bad with Bouchard in the playoffs. Bouchard is one of those guys who just when playoffs happen, it elevates. Now we have an icing on the Ducks. Oh boy. Be a long game, isn't it? I have an icing on the Dukes. So, and Dallas is now 2-0 on Minnesota. Man, Minnesota, I was like, I knew you guys weren't going to go far. I was expecting a second round appearance out of you. I know it's only game three. It's only game three. I'm not gonna go too crazy on it. All right, so Oilers into the Ducks zone. Oilers dump the puck into the Duck zone. Shots are 2-1 in favor of Edmonton right now. So hits were 47-37 in favor of Edmonton in game one. So they're physical. But here come the Ducks. Shot. Nice save by Connor Ingram. He's going to squeeze that. And Nurse is giving whoever that is. Is that look? I don't know who number 61 is. He's giving him a nice little hug. That was Gauthier. Gauthier, nice little hug. Good play. That was Leo Carlson with the move in the shot, and good save by Connor Ingram. So, yeah. Oh boy. What did I say? Sorry, I said shots were 2-1 in favor of Edmonton. They're actually 3-1 in favor of Anaheim because I saw the orange and I was assuming Edmonton. So, all right, here we go. McDavid, 3-on-2 rush. He's going to drop for Savoy. Savoy's going to take that shot. It's going to get blocked by the defenseman. Bouchard's going to pinch, and he's going to chip it behind the net for McDavid. Connor sends it out in front. Savoy, it's on the backhand, didn't get all of it. It's a stall with an easy save. Here come the Ducks. They're going to flip it out. And as a penalty, that is a penalty. We're going to have a power play for Edmonton. The Ducks have just taken a delay of game penalty. 16:31 left in the first period. And Edmonton, if they're going to have a chance to win this series, and I know they're already up 1-0, but they need to get that power play going. It was red hot when Leon Draisaitl went down. Who was that? Carlson and Flip Gauthier. Man, that might cost you. So, but it was red hot when Leon went down, ice cold when Leon was out, and game one didn't have the best time. Anaheim kept picking everything apart when Edmonton tried to enter the zone. So if Edmonton is going to have an opportunity here to take an early lead, they're going to have to score on this power play. So here we go. McDavid's going to win the faceoff. It's going to go back to Bouchard. He's going to find Draisaitl. A Duck did get a stick on it, so Draisaitl didn't handle that pass cleanly. But the Oilers are still fighting for control here. McDavid back to Bouchard. Bouchard over to McDavid. McDavid's going to walk in. He's going to send it down low for Nugent Hogg. He's going to go backhand, and it's just going to miss the net. Draisaitl back to the point for Bouchard. Cross ice to McDavid. McDavid is going to walk in, tries to send it in front of Hyman, and he just can't get a stick on that, and that puck is going to go exit the zone. All right, it's a couple of good opportunities for Edmonton here. McDavid is going to enter the zone. He's going to drop for Draisaitl. Draisaitl back to the point for Bouchard. Down low for Draisaitl. Draisaitl down low for McDavid. It's going to hop over McDavid's stick, go behind the net. Hyman gets that puck. Bouchard's not going to be able to hold it in, but he couldn't get there in time. Minute 16 left on the power play. Shots still 3-1 in favor of Anaheim. I see that red and I see that orange and I think it's Edmonton. I'm like, fuck off. All right. Draisaitl. Nugent Hyman battling in there. Puck goes at the side of the net. McDavid. McDavid back to Bouchard. Bouchard over to McDavid. Come on, guys. You need to score here. You need to get shots on that. Draisaitl sends it out in front, and a Duck is going to get his stick on there before an Oiler can. Hyman tries the backhand spin pass, and Anaheim's going to clear it. And I think the first unit's going to go off, and that means this power play is over. Nope. Nope. Second unit's on. Power play's over. 29 seconds ago. Jack Roslovic's going to enter the scene. He's going to take a... Jack, come on, my guy. That's a bad penalty to take. Anaheim's going to go to the power play here, and they're going to kill off whatever time is left on this Oilers power play to get as much time as they can on theirs, and it's going to be 10 seconds. So they're going to have a minute 50 of power play time. So, yeah. So I don't know what for tripping. I don't agree with that. He was going for the pie. That's barely a trip. All right, whatever. So, like I said, 10 seconds of 4-on-4, and then the Oilers will have a minute 50 on the PK. right, so Darnell Nurse in his own zone. So 4 seconds left to fire on. So Draisaitl or Nurse back to Murphy. Murphy back to Nurse. Nurse, you have all the time in the world to slap it down right now. Yeah, he's just. Yeah, there he goes. He just flings it down. Perfect. All right, that's good. Gets a good clear, early clear. 10 minute 40. So 10 seconds of power play gone already. All right, here come the Ducks. They're going to drop it back for a guy. And he's going to cut his way. I don't know who that's. Troy Terry, number 19, Troy Terry. He's going to try and spit it back. Can't make a clean pass. The Oilers are going to slap it out of their zone. Takes a weird bounce, but it gets down into the Ducks' end. Not very far, but it does get down into the Ducks' end. Ducks are now down to 1 minute 14 of power play time remaining. McTavish drops for Terry. Troy Terry skating. Looks it back to Tron Carlson. Cross ice to, I think that's Granlund. Yeah, that looks like Granlund. Drops for Carlson. Over to a guy. Troy Terry's going to take that shot. Good save by Connor Ingram. That puck is going to deflect into the netting and for a stoppage in play. Oh boy. Like I said, I'm not confident at all. I do not like where this is. I do not like where this is going. Unfortunately, I think Edmonton is. I think Edmonton's in a bit of trouble here. If I'm going to be honest. All right, face off one, shot blocked in front by Matthew Savoy. Wow, good block by Matt. Love that for Matthew Savoy. Oh boy. Am I not? Oh boy. Okay, hold on. Shit. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna have to end the stream here and then redo it.